Hi, it's Dr. Liz here, and I am updating you from our brand new clinic at Two Rivers Health because I promised that I would give you an update about everything that kind of happened and transpired as we um, created this clinic and the challenges that I faced and how that affected me personally and what I learned in my wellness journey to come out on the other end of it. I hope wiser, I hope stronger, more enlivened, and certainly more enlightened about basically simple practices that are essential to help you get through stress, to help you lift up your frequency so that you can be resilient and joyful and mindful even when it feels like the walls are coming down and everything's a crashing and you've had big losses and big challenges and you didn't know where the end was in sight. And that's just the kind of year that I've had. And so at the end of this video, I'm going to give you an opportunity to learn with me and to recover from what you need to recover and rest from through some of the tools and techniques that I have developed and picked up along the way and struggled to integrate so that you don't have to do the struggling or the research. I'm going to show you just how to integrate these simple practices in your life. And before I get to that, I just want to share a little bit more because I promised you I would. And I feel brave enough today to do that and to be a little bit vulnerable about it because the past year has been one of the most challenging in my entire life. And when I decided to start my own clinic, I had a dream, I had a vision for Two Rivers Health, I had a vision for how it would feel to be at the practice and for who I definitely wanted to be able to work with. I wanted to be able to bless families with children who believed that they might not have children. I wanted to invest in the health of the next generation of our community, and I wanted to help you transform your life and your well-being so that you can go out into the world and do what it is that you are here to do, because we can only do that when we have our health at our fingertips. And I came to a place after tremendous losses and disappointments in the process of defining where we would have our physical space. And we lost a lot of money. I lost pride. I lost associates. I felt like something was just in the way no matter what move I made. And by the time it came into about 6 months of dealing with that, I had not only lost a lot in the material world, but I had lost some of the faith that I had in myself. And I lost my sense of self-worth. And that is very, very dangerous for a doctor, for a woman, for a business owner. And it was a tremendously challenging and painful place to be. And what I realized through that was my only choice was going to be to surrender completely. I had to, instead of driving forward, moving forward, planning, acting, pushing, and striving, I had to yield. I had to allow. I had to rest and surrender. And this, trust me, was a very difficult thing to have to do for someone who had derived so much self-worth and self-actualization through activities, through achievement, through studying, through effort. And what I realized is that when we want to do really big things in our lives, a lot of the time that's a vision of the heart and not of the mind or the brain. And when it's a vision of the heart, it will come, but there's often things grabbing at your heels, holding you back. And when you get tired and when you get very stressed and very discouraged and life looks very bleak and dark, sometimes the only answer is to rest and receive and allow the lessons to come in. And as my naturopath, whom I might have talked to you about before in the past, her name is Joan, and she has had a role in my life for 30 years. She has coached me, she has mentored me, she has watched me literally grow up both from a child and in our profession, and she has enriched me and immersed me in the language and the philosophy and the energy of healing. And she said to me, you know what, Elizabeth, wisdom always comes at a cost. And I agree with that completely, and it really resonated with me. And I said, okay, there's a huge cost here, but if I can trust that I will come out on the other side of this experience more wise and more able to help other people through my own experience of loss and disappointment and grief and shame, like the deepest form of shame that I can even imagine. And I never thought I would, I just haven't experienced that before. And shame is one of the most toxic, if not the most toxic and damaging emotions to the human soul. And to recover from that, I had to remember, okay, I'm developing my wisdom. I'm going to wait for that to come. And I learned so many lessons, and I want to share them with you. But the main one here for today that I can integrate into this check-in with you is that the simplest of steps is actually what helps you heal. The simplest of choices is what allows you to go from a life of despair to a life of freedom. And I can stand here today and say, yes, I am experiencing, to the best of my knowledge, a life of freedom. And I had to be so patient. I had to make a lot of difficult choices. I have expanded my wisdom, though, and I hope that gives you some comfort if you're in a stuck place right now. If you're feeling discouraged, if you don't like yourself, if you don't like your body, if you're struggling with really sad circumstances, or if you've had a loss, I want to reassure you there is hope, there is change. This is temporary, and it will move through, and it can move through you if you allow it. So one of the first things that I did was I allowed myself to rest, and I really had to choose to do this. And I had to kind of realize that I was the only one stopping me from resting. It wasn't my husband, it wasn't anybody else, it wasn't my patients. I had been holding myself back from just allowing myself to receive restoration just through mental constructs, just through saying that, nope, you got to work, you got to drive, you got to move forward, you got to take action, muscle and hustle. And that is the way of the world, isn't it? But for myself as a woman, I needed to yield and I needed to receive before I could be strong enough to then give back again. And so I reduced my hours that I was working by half. I slept more, I ate well, I didn't plan anything socially. From the outside, it might have looked like I was depressed, and at times I wondered if I was, but really I was extremely adrenally fatigued. And so after learning how to rest and ground, I started to repair my adrenals. And that took herbal medicine and some interesting prescriptions, and certainly developing routine. And then I had to remember that routine is another way of healing the body, and that it was important for me and my household to be the one who was supporting that routine. And in developing routine, I also noticed that things between myself and my husband got even more collaborative and more positive because we were supporting each other just in terms of something as basic as meals. And so today I enjoy a fairly relaxed state of mind. I feel positive. I feel energized. I know when I need to slow down, and I just let myself do it. And I don't struggle and make myself work through fatigue or through grief or some kind of emotion that I might be processing. I give myself space for that. And I'm so grateful to this horrendous experience that I went through, and all of the losses and challenges that I faced, and all of the demons that I kind of grappled with in myself, because I can give myself a lot more grace today than I ever have before in my whole life. And I feel light and energized by the end of most of my days. And I get to work with people like you who are inspiring, who are going through and doing the things that you need to be doing for your health and well-being. And I get excited by that, and I feel so honored to witness your journey and to help you in any way that I can. And so I promised you that I would give you an opportunity to kind of take from what I've learned and kind of apply it in your own life, and here's how we're going to do that. I have put together a program called the Fresh Cleanse Program, and in it, it will not only structure your meal planning, it will also detoxify your body, it will alleviate symptoms that are draining your energy, it will raise your frequency and give you some practices that similar to the ones that I needed to learn myself to integrate as a naturopath, but for you to learn how to do them so that you can invite back and reclaim your health and well-being, raise that frequency, and heal the symptoms that are bothering you. From digestive health to unwanted weight gain to hormonal imbalance to mental and emotional stress, I want to help you ease through this, and I'm going to give you all the tools in one little 3-week package for you to be able to do this. So I want you to join me on this plan. It's something that we're launching this week. I want to bring this to you because it's the perfect time of year to do this kind of a program. We're right at the harvest season plus change of season, and everybody is now in their kind of back to school, early fall routine, and you'll be done by Thanksgiving, so you can enjoy and celebrate the bounty and the abundance of your life and everything that you learn within this program. And I'm going to be right here with you, helping you out as you go. So if you want more information about it, please do send an email. You can reply. You can post below the video if you're watching this on Facebook. And I'll send you another reminder today or maybe tomorrow or the next day, and then the doors will close on Thursday because we're getting started on Friday with a kickoff call, and then you're going to get to do your grocery shopping over the weekend anytime that works for you, and we start full on this coming Monday, and so I'm so excited to work with you on this, and yeah, if you have any questions at all, let me know. If you are going through something really challenging and you're not sure where to start in terms of how to reinforce your health and well-being to allow you to move through that, then by all means send me a note, because I can certainly empathize with where you are at and would love to help. So plan to join me on Fresh Cleanse, and I'll see you on the inside of that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And as I said, it's such an honor to work with you. I'm happy to help in any way that I can. Ciao for now.